Alright, welcome to the channel. So, in this first video, I want to look over the recent Cosmic Reach OST that was released. So the game is still in pre-alpha. I'll put the version of the current game in the description. It's like 0.3.14 or something. But in a recent update, the official soundtrack was released and it was added into the game as just background music. And it kind of works in a Minecraft style, where occasionally the background music will start playing on and off. I don't particularly like that style of playing the music. I think it should just be playing all the time, or you should at least get an option to be able to play it all the time. But anyway, that's beside the point. I wanted to look over all of these songs and just listen to them. So this video is going to be more of a silent one for me and just commenting on each of the tracks after they're done playing. I really like a lot of the fan music that was put out that I used across my old channel. And now that we have some official tracks, I'll probably be using these as background music. Not as a complete replacement of the fan music, there's still really good ones out there, but for the most part, I think I'll be using these just because they match the game the best. At least that's what I'd think, because they were accepted. So this video is meant to be more of a background video that you just kind of let play and you listen to the music along with me, and then I'll comment on each song after it's done. So there are 11 of them, and we'll start with the one on the very top. And before I get started, each of these songs was made by somebody who plays the game or just a community member. None of the songs were made by Final for Each himself as the main developer. So as you can see on the right, we have Kaloob, we have Stewart, Keller, we have MrDoctor, and we have Chrythm Music. And I'm familiar with Chrythm, Kaloob, and MrDoctor, but I'm not familiar with Stewart Keller. Maybe this person goes by a different name elsewhere, but yeah, that's a new name to me. So let's get started. The first one is A Starry Midnight by Kaloob. Okay, that was very good. I think this will end up being one of my favorite tracks from the game, I can already tell. I think it matches pretty well with just the thumbnail on screen with the interceptors flying in the back. It's in a dark cave area, or just a very dark building or something. I think it pretty much matches that vibe exactly. There was actually a fan song for the game called Far From Home by Matt San. It's my favorite fan song for this game, and it sounds a lot like this song here, except Far From Home sounds more bright and vibrant and more hopeful, whereas this one is more, I guess, dark and mysterious and maybe exploratory. So good stuff. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is Development by Stewart Keller. So this one I could see playing pretty much at any time. I'm assuming developments refers to developing some kind of gadget or building a base or something, and I can definitely see how that would match the song. So it's not my favorite, but I do like it. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is Tiptoe by Stewart Keller. I like this one too. So far, they've all sounded pretty futuristic and moody and kind of dark and mysterious. Tiptoe feels like you're exploring a big building, maybe like a high-tech building that has a bunch of secrets and you're kind of discovering secrets as you walk through it. That's the kind of feeling I got. Okay, on to number 4, which is Fluff by Stewart Keller. All right, this one made me feel like I was confronting God himself. It was definitely different than the other ones. Maybe it could play when you're generating a world, or another example would be if you've ever played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. At the beginning, you have to answer a bunch of questions, and based on your answers, it will give you certain characters. So there will be your player character, and there will be your partner character, and it kind of plays this mystical music as you're answering those questions. This kind of feels like one of those moments. I'm not really sure where this would fit in the game. Like I said, maybe generating a world or something like that. Okay, moving on to number 5, we have Without Bounds by Stewart Keller. This one sounds a bit like the last one that I played, but it has that weird part that starts around 55 that sounds like you dropped a metal nail and it kind of bounces around and echoes out. Maybe as if somebody's tapping on a metal wall and it's hollow on the other side. I'm not really sure. I don't know when I would expect something like this to play. Alright, moving on to the next one, which is Outer Lands by MrDoctor, who created a lot of fan music as well. Yeah, MrDoctor makes very good atmospheric music that doesn't have really a main part to it, but it just kind of sounds good always. And this song is no different, Outer Lands. Like I said, he's made a lot of fan music, and I think that actually one of his tracks is kind of embedded inside of this one. During the part where it goes beow, 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 I think that's actually part of one of his other songs. I'm not sure, I could be wrong about that, but it does sound like that. I recall hearing that pattern before. And I think that this song could really play whenever. It's really good, and it fits the whole machine, futuristic, mysterious vibe. It'll be interesting to see if we get any tracks that don't match that machine, mysterious vibe, because I'm thinking about some of the world generation in the game right now. It's relatively primitive, but we do have worlds that kind of have normal Earth-like generation, and I would think that on those worlds we wouldn't be having all this futuristic stuff, so hopefully there are some tracks that match a sort of normal vibe. But this one was really good. It'll be one of my favorites for sure. Another thing I like about this song is near the beginning there's that faint error buzzing sound going on in the background, kind of that on and off buzzing. I really like that too. Again, it sounds very machine-centric. Alright, the next one is Asking Somehow Matters by Kaloob. All right, I really like this one. It was more optimistic and positive than all the other ones, a bit happier. I think it could also be a contender for something that would play on an Earth-like generation. So before I was talking about how all the songs so far kind of feel machine-centric, they feel like they could take place on the moon. This one is a little bit more neutral in that respect, so maybe it's something that could match the Earth, or just an area where there aren't a bunch of machines. But it could really match a lot of things, so like I said, it's more neutral than anything. Great work with this one, and so far they've all been really good. There have been a couple that I haven't been a huge fan of, but they weren't bad. It seems like so far, I think my favorites have been A Starry Midnight outer lands and asking somehow matters. All right, moving on to the next one, we have Another Sunny Morning by Kalub. All right, this one borderlined on happy and sad. I don't know which one it was, but it's one of those two. I think it kind of switches up here and there. I'm not really sure how to feel about this one. It's very soft. I like it a lot. It's very well done, but not much more to say than that. All right, we're almost done. We've got 3 left. The next one is Navigation by Chrythm Music. Okay, this one felt very good, and that's because it's kind of the first one that felt more upbeat or faster paced. It had a strong adventurous or exploratory vibe. So, for example, if I was to go out and explore the world or even fight enemies or something, this would be a great song to play in the background. And once again, I'll say I think that the music should come in based on certain events. At least, maybe that should be somewhat the case. Like, if you're fighting an enemy, maybe this song will be more likely to come on. I don't think we've heard any songs that have that kind of up adventurous vibe to them yet. So I really like this one. And I should clarify before when I said that I've heard a lot of MrDoctor's fan music. I think all of these people have made fan music for the game. Alright, Cozy Settlement. Okay, the name on this one is a bit weird, Cozy Settlement. I guess I could see that playing while you're just in a cozy settlement, but to me it felt more like you're thinking through a problem, or like a very logical song that makes you want to sit down and get some work done, or just think through a very difficult problem. It also sometimes made me feel like something was about to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, like you're about to go on a mission, or something's about to start. I don't know, I think I disagree with the title of this one. Big fan of the songs that have a sort of logical vibe where it feels like you're thinking through something. So this is one of my favorites. Alright, on to the very last one, which is Construction by Chrythm Music again. This one had a lot of variety to it. Again, I'm not sure about the name construction. I could kind of see this one playing whenever, just kind of in a bunch of different situations. It might also be good for something like a main menu, just because that dun 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 with the over top of it just feels like a main menu theme, especially with this thumbnail with the Cosmic Reach image in the middle and the stars around it. It just felt like it kind of belonged on this screen. So, I don't know. It was a good song. Just a whole lot of variety going on. And one thing I'll say about Chrythm is that he made quite a few fan songs for the game in the past, but I was never really a big fan of them. But for some reason, with the official soundtrack, these 3 tracks are actually really good. So it seems like he may have upgraded his skills a little bit. So really good work with these 3. And that's it for every single track. So far, there are only 11 of them. In the future, there will obviously be more. And I think that's the number one thing we're really missing is not a specific kind of track, but just more variety. It seems like the combat tracks kind of aren't there. Maybe there's one of them in navigation, but other than that, not really. And then there's maybe a whole bunch of other situations in the game where you'd want different kinds of songs and not just kind of the machine vibe and the futuristic, the moody, the mysterious vibe that many of these are going for. Every single one of these was good. I think the worst one, and not that it's bad or anything, but the worst one was one of them by Stewart Keller with where I said it kind of sounded like a nail dropping and echoing out at one part of the song, or maybe like someone's tapping on metal. I think it was Without Bounds, this one right here. That was really the only thing in any of these songs that I didn't particularly like, but the rest of the song was totally fine. So far, the soundtrack is really good, and I hope it continues in this direction, and like I said, I hope we get more variety in the future. So that's it. Let me know what you think. I tried to leave a comment on every single one of these videos. This is the last one I have to do. Let me know which one's your favorite, which ones you maybe didn't like, and what kind of additions you'd like to see in the future. I'm pretty interested in this stuff. I think music can really make a game. A game can be great without great music, but great music really opens the door for a game to be great. I think the overall effect of great music is highly underestimated. So that's it. Thanks for watching.